Hi, this is the Ananda Shri Astrology full moon forecast for January 31st, a lunar eclipse. Hi there. Lunar eclipse is coming. How are you feeling? I am in India still. I've been here for a few weeks now, and I am in Kerala, in the south of India, in where it's always warm. It's been really hot today. There behind me is, you get a view of the ashram there. It's called Amritapuri. I've been coming here since 1998, and wow, it's really changed. Big buildings now. And there behind me, that's the ocean, the Indian Ocean. The sun setting there. One thing that hasn't changed is, check that out, if you can see it. I don't know if you can see down there. There. The fishermen still fishing with their boats and their nets. Okay, well, it's going to be a lively forecast, I think. There's a lot going on. You can hear there's also a cricket match over on the beach. So, you know, maybe it's appropriate. This is a lively astrological time. The moon is waxing, getting bigger. We're about to have a super moon again, because the magnitude, the distance of the moon is quite close to the Earth right now. But most of all, the most amazing thing is that it will be a total lunar eclipse. Lunar eclipses are big deals. They shake up the foundation of whatever we are standing on often. And depending on how it's aspecting your natal chart, it can come out in different ways. But in general, lunar eclipses are turning points often. They're shifts, they're changes in the way we are seeing our future and our past. So the lunar eclipse, going to be on January 31st in California Pacific time at 5:27 a.m. climaxing, but it will be starting hours before that and lasting for hours after that. It is total for over an hour, so it's a very complete lunar eclipse with a lot of shadow, a lot of time in the shadow. Lunar eclipses in general, eclipse season, is seen as a time when change gets amplified. It's a time when consciousness can shift and our beliefs about the world are challenged, and our beliefs about ourselves as well. So there's a lot of growth and potential that can happen, but it often feels a little shaky. In fact, earthquakes are sometimes seen to happen around this time, or strange weather phenomenon, such literally shaking things up, as well as on a personal level, we can feel like we're kind of standing on shaky ground. This lunar eclipse is a really strong one, not just because it's a super moon, a blood moon, or whatever, which isn't really Vedic astrology, but it's in the sign of sidereal Cancer in the nakshatra of Ashlesha. Ashlesha is a great star for doing deep healing, but it is known to cause anxiety and confusion even more. And combined with the eclipse energy, it seems like a great kind of combination for doing deep shadow work or transformative subconscious work. The thing about it is that Ashlesha, if you have fears at this time or things that are holding you back, it may come forward and present itself in different ways very clearly around coming up to this lunar eclipse, and especially a few days before and after. So this is a time to step forward with courage into the things that we fear and speak our truth, connect in with our inner world. Ashlesha has a special connection to the Naga snakes. These are ancient primordial entities, beings that were here long before us, that live kind of in another dimension. And they are said to be all the way down 7 layers under the netherworld, in the core of the earth, they're there, entwined, and holding space of support and wisdom. The Naga snakes are the deep instinctual wisdom of our bodies. They're connected to the Kundalini snake, which is also coiled at the root, at the core of what we are, the root chakra. It's the foundation and the powerful Shakti and energy that is there. So much potential, so strong, and so mysterious and quiet at the same time. Ashlesha has a very intense ability to access these deep core issues, core beliefs, core fears, things that are behind the things that block us, we may not be conscious of, our paranoias, our chronic habits and addictions. This is a time when a lot of this can come out of the shadows. These lunar eclipses can break us free, awaken us, and bring consciousness into places that normally may be very mysterious and hidden from us. So, wow, really strong lunar eclipse, actually. Ashlesha lunar eclipse. It's a blue moon, too, being the second one this month, too. So, take advantage of it. But be sensitive, be aware, because some people actually may be quite affected by this lunar eclipse. And highly sensitive individuals or people who are maybe in Rahu cycles probably shouldn't spend too much time looking at it, staring at it. In India, in fact, it's considered very unlucky to look into a lunar eclipse. So and also just be sensitive to how people are feeling around this time. Be patient. Try not to get into pointless arguments with people, because Venus is also very much affected by this lunar eclipse. She's just moved past the sun and in aspect to it. So this isn't an easy time for relationships, and it is a time maybe that things can get pushed to the point where breaking point for some people. I could see that being 7th house from this lunar eclipse. But if it's a relationship that needs to end, then it's a perfect time to do it. So just be gentle with yourself and with others at this time. And also be careful if you're taking pharmaceutical medicines or doing recreational drugs, because Ashlesha has a very special effect on medicine. It magnifies the power of medicine, especially medicines that are poisons taken in large doses. So be sure that you don't take too much of anything. This is a lunar eclipse that could cause confusion with dosages, so watch that with yourself and your friends and family. Also, hypnotherapy is very good under Ashlesha, the snake charmer, and accessing the subconscious through trance, through hypnosis. These kinds of techniques will become much easier perhaps during this lunar eclipse. But again, just be gentle, be careful, be aware just how things are the veil's a little thin right now for people. And so walk with awareness and compassion. Okay, so I think that's all I can think of right now to say to you about this powerful and transformative lunar eclipse in Ashlesha. Why don't we see what the tarot has to say about the lunar eclipse coming up? Can you see all the birds up there? All lined up for a tarot reading, I think. So the first card that came up, the Star. Taking it easy, taking care of ourselves. How do we take care of ourselves when things are getting intense, when we get anxious? How do you take care of yourself? Take a bath, take it easy, take a walk in nature if possible. Maybe gentle exercise, yoga, see a healer, get a massage. These are all activities that can be done around this time that would be very good for us. The Star talks about the natural flow of life. You don't need to push yourself on this lunar eclipse. The lunar eclipse will do it for you. So there's a lot of potential for healing. And like I said, medicines do amplify in power, and homeopathy in particular is a very good alternative medicine to be looking into. And if you work with homeopathy, this lunar eclipse could be a powerful turning point in your work with it, in your therapy, in your healing process. And this next card, wow, this is really interesting. This is the card of Cancer, the Chariot. It almost looks like a lunar eclipse there he's holding, right? Power of Cancer, power of water. Ashlesha is actually a water snake. In the sky, you find it actually as the head of Hydra, the water snake. Cancer. So the Chariot can move from the deep waters of the subconscious and bring it up to the feeling of the body and the heart and the mind, integrating, traveling to other worlds, and then bringing it back and integrating it. This is a really nice card to get, actually. So much strength and courage can be found on this lunar eclipse by facing that darkness, by facing your fears, by working with it, by letting it come up. It's great success coming. Moving forward and changing in a positive way. And then the 10 of Wands. A little reminder, again, that sometimes the breaking point is felt as too much. It's like too much of something. Overwhelm. Taking care not to get overwhelmed on this full moon. Check it out. When things are too much, when we are overwhelmed by our work, a breaking point is naturally reached. Allow for the flow of life to pull you towards ever deeper and more integrated wisdom. You do not have to fear the shadows. You can change the way you see things. You don't have to carry all the burdens of negative beliefs, fears any longer. Allow for the river to flow and you to flow with it. Oh, it's nice. Thank you for coming to the Anandashri Astrology Lunar Eclipse Forecast. I give one-on-one Vedic astrology readings and tarot readings online. Here in India, I'm going to open up a few more slots if you want to speak to me here. Also, be sure to get on my newsletter and subscribe to this YouTube channel right down there. Do it. Subscribe. And have a wonderful, safe, and easeful lunar eclipse. Oh yeah, and be sure to check out my online courses now. I'm selling online recordings of my classes. Check out the link below, including the 2018 predictions that I just gave the webinar class. And check out the birds.